Hi guys, let's get warm and let's start with Python programming. In this lesson, we will start coding. One of the fundamental concepts of programming is variables. They are your best friend. You will always deal with them. You can use them to store information. They will represent your entry data, sometimes your output, so it's important to be on good terms with them. Let's say you want to have a variable x that is equal to the value 7. And then ask the computer to give you the value of this variable. So we have to tell to the machine that x is equal to 7. Let's type it then. The following line is saying that x is equal to 7. This type of line is also called command or program. At this moment, it's only a line of code. Before to have any impact on the process, you have to execute it. Let's go. Now, a variable called x has been created and assigned to a value of 7. Before to pursue, I just want to give you a quick tips. I don't know if you have any stick note around you or piece of paper, but take good care of these tips. You can at any time just press Shift plus Enter to execute your command. I will do that in the future. You're gonna see that's a huge gain of time. Now, let's ask ourselves the question. How could we ask the computer to show us the result of what we have just done? We have just to write X and Shift and Enter. And here is the result, 7. Great, no? You have just run your first line of code right now. Congratulations. This concept is basic but fundamental. Let's go a little bit further. Now assign the value 707 to a variable that we're gonna call var. It equal 707. Yeah. Let's execute it. I'm going to tap var with a capital V. Execute. As you can see, Python is spreading a mistake. This shows us that Python is class sensitive. So watch out for that. It's important that you use lowercase or uppercase to execute the instruction. Try to establish a discipline. For example, I have a personal rule which is to always write my variables in lowercase in order to avoid any time-consuming error. But we are not gonna go deeper in the explanation because there is a whole section devoted to these tips in the attached workbook, and everything will be much clearer. Now let's continue talking about Python variables. The last thing I would like to share with you in this training is that you can assign a certain number of values to the same number of variables to create the variable x and y. We have to assign two values. We must separate each of the variables in each of the values with a comma. The parentheses here are not mandatory, but we use them to improve the readability of our code. Now, if I call x or y separately, the concepts give me their respective values. It's very important that the number of variables on this line is equal of the number of values. For example, here we have two variables x and y and two values. Otherwise, we will get an error message. Let's try here and yeah, see. Awesome. It's a great start to our trip to Python. Be sure to go through the exercise attached to this training. We will see you in the next one.